This morning, I was up at 6, and the media was already pounding the drum that Biden's staying in the race. That's not true. Okay, that's what the media has been told to say, and they're saying it. The two most powerful Democrats now in the country who are basically going to make this call are former President Barack Obama and former Biden Chief of Staff Ron Klain. They are the two most powerful people inside the Democratic Party by far. All right, both those men know Biden cannot defeat Trump in November. Can't. They know that. So they want to have him with dignity. The argument is, Joe, if you say you're not going to run again, you'll go out on a high note with dignity. You'll put the country first. If you stay in, you'll enable the devil, Donald Trump, to win. That's your choice. And everyone inside the Democratic power structure felt that Biden would take the noble way out. But he didn't, because of Jill Biden. Fascinating story. Fascinating story. She is the third most powerful Democrat in the country, because Joe Biden does everything his wife tells him to do. Everything. And so now, they're at an impasse. The party elders want and know Biden's got to go, because if Biden stays, not only is he going to lose to Trump, but the Democrats will lose the Senate. They're already assured of losing the House. They'll lose the Senate. And then Trump would have a full field to do whatever he wanted to do, because the Supreme Court is favorable, as we're going to show you tonight, to the traditional point of view in this country, which is what Trump brings. Now, the three people running the government right now are Jeff Zients, White House Chief of Staff, Michael Donnellan, White House Chief Strategist, and Vinay Reddy, the White House Director of Speech Writing. Those are the three men that are running the show. Now, Biden's not even on campus. He won't even come back to the White House till tonight. All right? And he very rarely, and we'll get to this, he's very rarely now in the Oval Office at all. All right? Jill Biden decides when he'll work and when he doesn't. She decides what he'll eat, what he'll wear, what he'll say. That's how powerful this woman is. Shades of Nancy Reagan. Okay, so over the weekend, you know, this is widely reported. All the Biden family went to Camp David, and it came out of there that they're staying. Biden family's staying. Now, the Democratic hierarchy knows that Joe Biden doesn't have strong support, even among Democrats. Most of Biden's support is, we hate Trump, so we'll support Joe. There's very, very few Americans have any emotion invested in Biden at all. Okay, it's not like Trump, where the MAGA people, crazy emotion invested in Trump. Biden didn't have that. So if Biden goes, there's not going to be a groundswell of anything. It's going to be relief. Okay? Then it's how to do it. How do you do it? Because they don't have anybody to go to. They don't want Kamala Harris. Her poll numbers are worse than Biden's. Okay? Newsom wants it out in California, but he's run that state into the ground. Okay? Whitmer in Michigan wants it. You know, it's possible. But what the Democrats would really want would be Michelle Obama. But she's a mystery. I can't get one shred of evidence about Michelle Obama. And for me, that is as frustrating as a situation I've ever had in 50 years. It's unbelievable, the wall around that woman. I can't get anything. I can't get rumor, innuendo, guess, speculation. Zero. She could beat Trump. Not to say she would, but she could. The others can't. So just keep that in mind. And Barack Obama cannot force his wife to run. She runs that show. She's not Jill Biden. She's not like that. But Barack can't walk in and say, honey, you're going to be president. And goes, hey, I'm going to do what I want. And she does. Okay. So discussions are taking place now on K Street in Washington, D.C., which is the Democratic fundraising is centered. The money men and the hierarchy are speaking. How do we get out of Joe? How do we do this? When do we do it? This could happen at any time. Okay? Because they can't wait too much longer to throw the convention into chaos in August in Chicago. They got a little time, but not a lot. And then the final piece of this is they have to run, they being the hierarchy of the Democratic Party, whoever they are favoring to take Joe's place by the media moguls, the corrupt media moguls, NBC, CNN, New York Times, Washington Post. They got to run them by it because when it's announced who the Democratic Party wants to take Biden's place, then there'll be a surge of whoever is the selection will be the greatest politician since Abraham Lincoln, the strongest leader since George Washington. It'll be a coordinated tsunami right in your face, whoever they select. So they've got to consult with the media moguls. And this is all going on right now, even as I speak. Okay? And the Times in particular, New York Times, has to sign off on it. So that's how powerful the New York Times is in the Democratic precincts. They got to say, yeah, all right, we'll support him. They don't, there's a problem. But they will. Pretty much any Democrat, because they hate Trump so much. Okay, now Jill Biden gave an interview to Vogue magazine. Interested. And here's part of the interview quote. Reached by phone on June 30th at Camp David, where the Biden family had gathered for the weekend, Mrs. Biden told Vogue that they will not let those 90 minutes, the debate, define the 4 years he's been president. We will continue to fight. And she added that President Biden will always do what's best for the country. Now, notice the last line. Will always do what's best for the country. That's the line you will hear when Joe Biden resigns from running again. He's not going to resign the office. Remember that. He's going to stay there in November. Now, I was surprised Joe Biden put that line in her quote because she is the one that said, no way we're getting out of here. But gave herself a little wiggle room. Okay. Now, as a poll, CBS News, 1,130 registered voters. We don't know the party breakdown, but here's the question. Regardless of whether or not you would vote for him, do you think Joe Biden should or should not be running for re-election? Biden should be running 28%. Biden should not be running 72%. That's a catastrophe. And he's not coming back because he's going to get worse. So the diehards that want Biden to remain, what are you thinking? You think he's not going to get worse than he is now, than he was at the debate last Thursday? He's going to get worse. You think he's going to get stronger? 72% say he should not be running. So summing up, Democratic Party's in disarray right now. Intense discussions taking place. I don't know who. I don't know when. I do know Joe must go, and he will.